Lord, continuing in the spirit of these sacred moments, I draw near once again with a heart laid open before you. At this hour, quiet, still and full of wonder, I sense the deep hush that settles over my surroundings, and I realize how each breath is an opportunity to encounter your goodness in new and profound ways. Though the night might seem long, I trust that your presence fills every second with purpose. I come before you, Lord, humbly acknowledging that I need more of you in my life. I need your guidance, your comfort, and your strength to carry me through challenges I cannot bear alone. Tonight, or whenever I find myself waking in the small hours, I choose to be intentional with this time. I refuse to let my restless mind be consumed by worries or regrets. Instead, I use this opportunity to fix my gaze on your grace. I open my heart to the whispered truths you have so graciously spoken over me. In this moment, I lay down my burdens, those thoughts and emotions that have clung to me throughout the day, refusing to allow them to dominate my spirit. I know that you are my refuge and my shelter, a place of solace for my soul. Rather than rushing to solve all my problems by my own might, I surrender them to you, confident that your wisdom far exceeds my own. I reflect on the times I've felt alone in the stillness, when it seemed like no one else could possibly understand the depth of my fears or the fullness of my hopes. But you, Lord, have always been right there, intimately aware of every nuance of my heart. You see me not just as I am, but as I can be, transformed by your love and called by your purpose. When I quiet myself, I can almost feel the warmth of your presence, reminding me that even in a seemingly empty room, I am not alone. I honor you in this moment, choosing reverence over despair, choosing worship over worry. Lord, I bring to you every area of my life that feels overwhelming. I bring the relationships that have grown strained or distant. I bring the tasks I've been putting off because I feel inadequate to complete them. I bring the regrets that haunt me and the ambitions that stir within me. I place them all at your feet, asking for your mercy to cover my failures, your grace to fill my shortcomings, and your power to equip me where I am weak. I do not come to you with pretenses or polished words. I come with honesty, as a child who knows that in my Father's arms there is love enough to heal, to restore, and to give hope. I recall the words from John 14:27, where Jesus promised, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." These words resonate deeply in my soul. I realize that the peace offered by this world is conditional, fleeting, and often dependent upon external circumstances. But your peace, Lord, is eternal and steadfast. It's the kind of peace that grounds me even when my surroundings are tumultuous. Tonight I pray for a fresh experience of that peace. I pray that it would flood every chamber of my heart, dispelling anxiety and fear. Let my heart be so saturated by your peace that worry finds no home within me. I confess, Father, that sometimes I resist your peace because I cling to my own sense of control. I think that if I can just plan well enough, work hard enough, or stay vigilant enough, I can keep all the pieces of my life together. But the truth is, my control is an illusion. Real security is found only in you, the one who holds all things together by the power of your word. So, I lay down my need to micromanage my destiny. I choose to trust in the God who orchestrates galaxies and yet cares intimately about my daily struggles. I don't need to have every answer. I just need to rest in the certainty of your love. Let me remember this when doubts whisper that I am on my own. Lord, I think of those who might also be awake during these early hours, not by choice, but because they're haunted by pain or fear or grief. I ask that your presence would minister to them even now. May they feel a gentle assurance that you are the healer, the provider, and the consoler of every sorrowful heart. If I can be a vessel of your compassion in any way, show me how to reach out, how to encourage, how to pray effectively for those in need. In this quiet time, unify our hearts in love that we might bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Lord, when I consider the world around me, I see so many reasons to be worried or discouraged. News headlines remind me daily of chaos and suffering, but I also see the glimmers of hope that break through every darkness. A neighbor showing kindness to another, a stranger offering help, a community coming together in unity. In those moments, I recognize your hand at work, reminding me that grace is never absent, even in trying times. Help me to fix my attention on these signs of goodness, these reflections of your heart in a broken world. Let them strengthen my resolve to live as an agent of hope. Guide me to speak life where others are speaking despair, to act in love where others choose indifference. In doing so, let me become a reflection of your light, shining especially bright in the midnight hours of life. There are times, Father, when I struggle to believe that you can use someone like me. My mistakes, my imperfections, my insecurities, they all seem like insurmountable barriers. Yet I recall how you delight in using flawed vessels for your glorious purposes. You chose shepherds, fishermen, and tax collectors, ordinary people with all sorts of frailties, to be part of your unfolding plan. If you can work through them, you can surely work through me. I pray that you would remove any lingering shame or condemnation that hinders me from stepping boldly into the life you have called me to live. Remind me that I am covered by the righteousness of Christ, set free to serve without the crushing weight of guilt. Let me lay aside self-doubt and instead embrace the identity you've bestowed upon me, beloved child, called according to your will. I also think of the words of 2 Timothy 1:7, which remind me, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Father, in the quietness of this hour, I claim these words for myself. Let fear have no hold over me. Let it not steal my joy, my potential, or my moments of peace. Instead, fill me with the power to face challenges with courage, the love to serve others selflessly, and the sound mind to discern truth from lies. Let every anxious thought be replaced by the conviction that I stand on a foundation that cannot be shaken, your eternal word and your unchanging character. Lord, I bring before you the transitions in my life, perhaps new responsibilities at work, changes in my family dynamics, or simply the passage of time that ushers in different seasons. Sometimes these transitions stir up uncertainty and make me question my ability to adapt, but I know that you are the constant in every change. You have been faithful to me in the past. You will be faithful to me in the future. Let me walk through every door you open with faith, trusting that wherever I go, you go before me. And if there are doors I want to force open by my own will, give me the wisdom to wait on your timing, believing that what you have for me is worth any delay. In these early hours, Lord, I also want to cultivate a spirit of gratitude. It's so easy to focus on what I lack or on problems that haven't been solved yet. But I choose to thank you for the countless blessings that decorate my life. Thank you for the breath in my lungs, for the simple joys of each day, for the roof over my head, for the people who care for me. Thank you for every answered prayer and every guiding whisper that kept me from harmful paths. When I shift my perspective toward gratitude, I find that even the smallest blessings can spark a flame of joy within me. Let that flame burn brightly, reminding me that my trials are temporary, but your kindness endures forever. I pray for spiritual eyes to see beyond the surface, to discern the deeper realities of faith at work around me. Often my earthly eyes are fixated on visible circumstances, and I forget the spiritual dimension in which you move powerfully. Show me the hidden victories, the quiet miracles, the subtle ways you are weaving redemption into my life story. Help me to trust that even when I feel like nothing is happening, you are still orchestrating details for a greater purpose. If I see only disappointment, lift my head so I can see your promise on the horizon. If I feel only pain, soothe me with the reminder that you collect every tear and will bring beauty out of ashes. You are not just the God of the mountaintops. You are the God who walks through the valleys with me, turning even my darkest experiences into testimonies of your unrelenting grace. Lord, I also lift up my personal struggles, the areas where I feel stuck or defeated. Perhaps I'm battling habits or thoughts that drag me away from you. Perhaps I'm dealing with the aftershocks of past wounds that refuse to fully heal. In this holy hour, I ask for your intervention. Where my own efforts have failed, I invite your transforming power. Let your love penetrate the deepest recesses of my heart, washing away bitterness, shame, or resentment that I've harbored. I may not have the strength to heal these wounds on my own, but your grace is sufficient. Teach me to rely on you moment by moment, breath by breath, especially during times when my self-reliance falters. I trust that your Spirit can accomplish in me what I cannot do alone. Whenever I feel unworthy, remind me of the cross, where perfect love paid the highest price for my redemption. That sacrifice proves that I am cherished beyond measure, that my life has significance that cannot be taken away. Let that truth shape my self-perception, freeing me from the need for external validation. In the quiet of the night, I declare that my identity is found in Christ alone, that my worth is sealed by his sacrifice. No criticism, no rejection, no failure can erase the truth of who I am in you. Let this revelation renew my mind so that I might live confidently, resting in the assurance that I am yours. When I open my eyes in the morning, I want to carry the peace of this prayer with me so that no matter what the day brings, I remain centered in your love. Let me approach each task with a spirit of service, each person with genuine compassion, and each challenge with unwavering faith. If I falter, let me remember that I can always return to this posture of humility and surrender. Prayer is not confined to nighttime hours. It's the ongoing dialogue of my soul with its Creator. May my life become a continuous offering of worship where every thought, word, and action testifies to the reality of your goodness. God, I also acknowledge that faith without action can become stagnant, so I ask for practical wisdom to apply what you're teaching me. If there are relationships that need mending, show me the steps toward reconciliation. If there are dreams that need pursuing, grant me the courage and discipline to pursue them wholeheartedly. If there are habits that need breaking, empower me to break free. Let me not only be a listener of your word, but also a doer. Let my deeds reflect the transformation happening inside my heart. In this way, my life will bear witness to the power of prayer and the faithfulness of the one who answers it. In the stillness of this hour, I also think about my future. Lord, you know the plans you have for me, plans to prosper me and not to harm me, plans to give me hope and a future. Although I may not see the full picture, I trust that your intentions for me are good. When I'm tempted to worry about what lies ahead, my career, my finances, my relationships, remind me to seek first your kingdom and your righteousness, knowing that everything else will be given to me as well. I refuse to live in the shadow of tomorrow's questions. Instead, I will live in the grace you've provided for today. There is a special promise in Psalm 91 verse 1, which states, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Lord, tonight I want to dwell in your shelter, not just pass through. I desire a permanent posture of closeness to you, an intimacy that transcends fleeting emotions. In that dwelling place I find rest, not only physical rest, but a deeper rest that soothes the soul. I want to abide in the shadow of the Almighty, where no fear can unsettle me, no doubt can destabilize me. Teach me how to remain there, how to cultivate a consistent prayer life that roots me in your presence, so that I am not easily swayed by circumstance or emotion. As my prayer continues, I feel the gentle stirrings of hope. It's the hope that arises when I remember that you are the author of new beginnings, the God of impossible turnarounds. That same hope assures me that no matter how dark the hour may feel, dawn is coming, and with it, new mercies. And though it may be 3 a.m. in my present situation, dawn will break in due season. In fact, often the most transformative moments occur when I'm stripped of distractions and left alone with you in the quiet. That is where I see more clearly, that is where I hear more distinctly, and that is where I learn to trust more deeply. I lift my voice not merely for myself, but for all who are longing for breakthrough. May your healing touch restore broken bodies, broken minds, and broken hearts. May your provision reach those who are in desperate need, reminding them that you care for each sparrow and value every hair on their heads. May your reconciliation mend families and friendships that have been torn apart, demonstrating that forgiveness can triumph over bitterness. And may your Spirit ignite revival in our communities, drawing hearts back to you in a renewal of love, faith, and unity. Use us, your children, as instruments of this revival, shining brightly in a world that so desperately needs light. During these quiet hours, Lord, my heart is soft, my defenses lowered, and my spirit receptive. I invite you to plant seeds of vision and purpose within me, seeds that will grow into a harvest of righteousness if I faithfully nurture them. Let me not shrug off the dreams you place in my heart, but rather pursue them with perseverance and trust. Give me the discipline to water these dreams with prayer and the courage to step out when you call. Remind me that if you've planted the seed, you'll also provide the means for it to grow, as long as I remain obedient and patient. I'm aware that I do not walk this journey alone. You have placed people in my life, friends, mentors, spiritual leaders, whose wisdom and love reflect aspects of your own character. I pray that I might grow in unity with them, learning from their perspectives and supporting their growth as well. Let our relationships be marked by authenticity, prayer, and mutual edification, so that when one stumbles, the other can lift them up. Use these connections to shape me into the person you've designed me to be, refining my character through fellowship and honest accountability. And if I find myself isolated, longing for such connections, help me to step forward in faith, trusting that you will guide me to kindred spirits who share my hunger for you. As I dwell in the sacredness of this moment, I experience a profound sense of calm. My heart no longer races. My mind no longer reels with scenarios and to-do lists. Instead, I feel a deep-rooted serenity, the kind that can only come from yielding to your Spirit. I realize that in your presence, striving ceases and trust takes center stage. I do not have to force solutions. I simply have to remain open to your leading. This is the essence of abiding, to rest in your arms and let your strength overshadow my weakness. Before I bring this prayer to a close, I pause to listen. Perhaps you have a word for me, a nudge in my spirit, an impression that guides me to take a specific action or adopt a certain mindset. Maybe you simply want me to relish the silence and the comfort of knowing I am with you. Whatever you desire in this moment, let me be sensitive enough to receive it. Remove any barriers, pride, fear, impatience, that might prevent me from hearing your voice. In the stillness, I wait on you, assured that you delight in communing with those who earnestly seek you. Lord, I am grateful. Grateful for the gift of this hour, for the sweetness of your companionship, and for the fresh mercies that await me in the coming days. As I continue on my path, remind me often of these truths so that my faith remains steadfast. Keep my heart tender, my mind attuned, and my spirit ever ready to praise you, whether it's the black of night or the brightness of a new morning. My confidence rests in your unchanging nature, in the love that never fails, and in the hope that never runs dry. In closing, I thank you once again for hearing me, for surrounding me with a grace that outshines even the darkest night. I know that my words are not spoken into empty air, but directly to the heart of the one who cares for me beyond measure. Seal this prayer, Lord, in the precious and life-giving name of Jesus. May your peace continue to guard my thoughts as I lie down again, secure in the knowledge that I am held by perfect love. And let that same peace guide me when I rise, inspiring me to live each day with renewed purpose and unwavering faith in your promises. With a heart overflowing with gratitude, I say, Amen, trusting that you will do far more than I could ever ask or imagine, both in these nighttime hours and in every moment that follows. If this prayer resonates with you, feel free to share your reflections in the comments that we might stand together in faith. And if there's someone you know who might be battling anxieties or sleeplessness, please share this prayer with them. Let's remain united, lifting one another up and reminding each other that no hour is too late or too early for God to hear the cries of our hearts. Lord, as I come before you one more time in these sacred hours, I am drawn into the gentle hush that blankets the world in the stillness of the night. The clock reads 3 a.m., and I am reminded of a woman I once met, a mother named Elaine, who found herself pacing the hospital corridors at exactly this hour. Her child, born prematurely, lay in the neonatal intensive care unit, surrounded by a maze of tubes and monitors. Doctors warned that each day was uncertain. The infant's fragile lungs struggled to take in enough oxygen, and Elaine's heart broke with every beep and flashing light. She had grown weary of the constant worry, her mind looping through worst-case scenarios. Yet she could not bear to go home, for the silent watch of the night weighed too heavily on her soul. One evening, however, she felt an insistent nudge in her spirit, as though you were calling her to step away from the sterile corridor for just a moment. She found a small chapel in the hospital's basement, dimly lit by a single flickering lamp. Dropping to her knees, Elaine began to pray. She had no eloquent words, just tears and a simple cry. God, I need you. I don't know what else to do. Though she entered that chapel with trembling hands and a sense of near despair, she emerged with a curious peace she could not fully explain. It wasn't that her circumstances changed overnight. The machines still beeped, the nurses still rushed from room to room, and her baby's condition was still precarious. But something inside Elaine had shifted. She began to carry a renewed, unshakable faith in her heart. When doubt whispered that she might lose her child, she clung to a certainty that you, Lord, were present in every heartbeat. She stayed with her baby through each fragile moment, reading scriptures out loud, singing lullabies, and offering up silent prayers. Day by day, the infant's condition improved, perplexing the doctors who had been so guarded in their prognosis. Many called it a miracle. Elaine called it the fruit of faith. And from that point forward, whenever she found herself awake at 3 a.m., Whether in fear or simply in reflection, she remembered the night she knelt down in the hospital chapel and felt her burdens lifting into your capable hands. That single experience taught her to see those early hours as a sacred invitation rather than a dreaded interruption. If you, dear viewer, have a testimony like Elaine's, or if you're longing for one, I encourage you to share it in the comments below. Your story might become someone else's beacon of hope in their darkest night. And if you know a loved one wrestling with fear or sleeplessness, please pass along this prayer so that they too may find refuge in the presence of God. Lord, I come to you now, remembering stories like Elaine's and my own moments of desperation, and I realize how deeply personal your care for us truly is. When the night feels endless and questions loom larger than life, you gently beckon us to draw near. And so I do. In the hush of this hour, I open my heart, my mind, my spirit, and I say, Lord, here I am, meet me in this place. I acknowledge that there are times I do not understand why certain events unfold as they do, or why my mind insists on wrestling with questions in the middle of the night. But I trust that you have a purpose for every moment, even the sleepless ones. I bring to you, God, the weight of my worries, my unspoken anxieties, and the burdens that I've carried far too long. The darkness can magnify those doubts until they feel insurmountable. Yet I also know that the night can be the perfect canvas on which you paint the brushstrokes of your grace. Where fear says there is no way out, faith declares that you are the way maker. When despair hisses, abandon hope, I remember stories like Elaine's, like countless others, where you showed up in the midst of the storm and offered a peace that defied logic. Tonight, I reach for that peace. I align my heart with the promise of Lamentations 3:22-23, which reminds me that because of your great love, I am not consumed, for your mercies never fail. They are new every morning, and great is your faithfulness. Lord, those words stir something in me. They remind me that no matter how many times I've stumbled, how many mistakes I've made, your mercies are fresh at the dawn of each day. So I lay down my shame, my regrets, and my guilt at your feet. I ask you to wash me anew in the confidence that I am loved, I am wanted, and I am seen by the God who formed the heavens and earth. In the blackness of night, I sometimes forget that I am worthy of love, or that my life holds significance. But you never forget. You see worth where I see failure. You see potential where I see defeat. Open my eyes to see myself as you see me, redeemed, cherished, and covered by grace that knows no bounds. I also want to surrender my desire for control, Lord. Often, my mind races at night because I'm trying to solve problems on my own, relationships that need mending, finances that strain my resources, dreams that remain unfulfilled, or concerns about tomorrow. I sometimes forget that you are God and I am not. I try to carry burdens too heavy for my shoulders, ignoring the invitation you extend to cast my cares upon you. Forgive me for holding so tightly to what I should be placing firmly in your hands. Help me to release each worry one by one, name by name, until I no longer clutch them in a clenched fist of anxiety. Let me learn to rest in the assurance that you orchestrate all things together for good to those who love you. Bring me to that place of childlike trust where I lean on your everlasting arms rather than my limited understanding. In these quiet hours, it's also easy to feel alone, as though I'm the only one awake and grappling with turmoil. But I remember that across the globe, countless souls might be in prayer at this very moment, some kneeling at a hospital bed, some crying out in their bedrooms, others walking the streets, all seeking a touch of your presence. I unite my prayers with theirs, Lord. I pray for the world, for the weary, the wounded, the the ones on the brink of giving up. Let hope rise like a gentle dawn within their hearts. Let them feel the warmth of your spirit, the comfort of knowing they are not isolated but held in a divine embrace. If there's any way I can be used to encourage another, grant me that opportunity. Let me be a vessel of your compassion, a messenger of your hope, so that my nighttime prayer might ripple outward into someone else's life. Lord, I also want to intercede for those who are sick or caring for loved ones who are ill. Hospitals can be daunting at 3 a.m., the fluorescent lights harsh, the machines relentless in their beeping. I think of how Elaine felt when she paced those corridors, unsure of what the next hour would bring. May your peace envelop every hospital room tonight. May every worried parent, every anxious spouse, every fearful patient sense the closeness of a God who heals and redeems. You are the great physician, capable of healing both body and soul. I lift these individuals to you, believing that even in the bleakest prognosis, your power can still break through. Give doctors and nurses wisdom and endurance, that they may be instruments of your healing. Give families the resilience to keep hope alive, even in the face of discouraging news, and in moments where the outcome isn't what was hoped for, cradle them in comfort, reminding them that you never abandon those who call upon your name. In addition to physical ailments, Lord, I know that many suffer from emotional and mental struggles, particularly in the stillness of night. Depression, anxiety, and lingering trauma can loom large when distractions fade. I pray for breakthrough in these areas. Let your light shine into the darkest corners of the mind where fear or despair tries to take root. Remind those who are suffering that they are not defined by their pain, that they are not lost causes. If professional help is needed, guide them to the right resources. If community support is lacking, open doors for them to find a church, a friend, or a mentor who will walk alongside them. And if they feel spiritually parched, revive them with a fresh encounter of your love. Let the quiet hours become an altar of renewal instead of an arena of torment. God, as I linger in your presence, I reflect on times in my life when I felt distant from you, when my prayers seemed to bounce off the ceiling. I realize now that you were never far away. Often it was my own distractions, my pride, my busyness, or my unresolved hurts that created the illusion of distance. But the moment I humbly turned back to you, I discovered that you had been waiting with open arms. Tonight, for anyone who feels a chasm between their heart and yours, I pray that you would melt away any barriers. Let them sense your nearness so powerfully that it overrides every lie that says God has forgotten you or you're too far gone. Let them be reminded that you are the God who leaves the 99 sheep to find the one that is lost. In this 3 a.m. encounter, break through the walls of doubt and rekindle the embers of faith. And Lord, I know that sometimes these nighttime hours are a space for reflection, a time when new insights can surface. If there are areas in my life that need correction, let me hear your gentle conviction now. If I've held on to bitterness, show me the path of forgiveness. If I've neglected the needs of others, open my eyes and stir compassion within me. If I've wandered from the path you've set, realign me with your perfect will. Correction doesn't always feel good, but I trust that any discipline you offer is motivated by love. You desire my growth, my wholeness, and my conformity to the image of Christ. Your word says in 2 Corinthians 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Those words resonate deeply, especially when I feel too drained to fight my battles alone. I don't need to have boundless strength, I just need to acknowledge my dependence on you. In these quiet moments, I confess that dependence. I lean on your grace for every thought, every breath, every decision. Where I fall short, let your power step in. Where my will falters, let your strength uphold me. I thank you that I don't have to navigate life's complexities on my own. You are the ever-present help in trouble, the gentle shepherd guiding me through valleys towards still waters. Lord, I also pray for clarity in the midst of confusion. Sometimes insomnia arises because of big life decisions, career changes, moves to new cities, or pivotal choices about relationships. The weight of these decisions can keep me awake, replaying every scenario in my mind. But tonight, or whenever I find myself awake at this tender hour, I choose to bring these dilemmas before you, asking for divine wisdom. I know that you see the future, I cannot. You know the motives of my heart and the outcome of every path. So instead of leaning on my own limited understanding, I choose to ask for your guidance. Close doors that aren't meant for me, no matter how appealing they may seem. Open doors that align with your plan, even if they initially scare me, and grant me the faith to walk through them, trusting that you will provide every resource I need. I also intercede for families, Lord, for marriages stretched thin by stress, for parents who feel ill-equipped, for children grappling with identity, for siblings who've grown estranged. The night can heighten relational pain as regrets and tensions replay in one's mind. But you are the restorer of all things. I pray for breakthroughs in communication, for empathy to replace indifference, for kindness to replace cruelty, and for love to cover a multitude of sins. Where there is generational brokenness, let your redemption flood in, turning curses into blessings. Let forgiveness flow like healing oil, sealing up old wounds and forging new paths of unity. Teach us, Lord, to love one another as you have loved us, and to humbly serve one another, remembering that every act of love can become a reflection of your heart. God, I stand in awe of your sovereignty. When I watch the sun rise after a long night, I am reminded that your rhythms are constant. The earth rotates, the light pierces the darkness, and new possibilities unfold with each dawn. I want to carry that hope into my spirit. No matter how dense the darkness of my circumstances, morning light is inevitable. Your promise stands, you never leave me nor forsake me. Even if I can't see how or when, I know you will break through. Let me hold on to that hope tightly. Let it be the anchor of my soul, the bedrock of my faith, reminding me that your plans are greater than my fears. Let me not only see the sunrise physically, but also experience a spiritual sunrise deep within, where my faith is rekindled and my hope renewed. I also recognize, Lord, that sometimes you allow us to remain in the quiet night for a season because there are lessons found only in stillness. Perhaps I need to learn to hear your voice more clearly, to appreciate the gift of uninterrupted communion with you, or to realize the depth of my own dependence. If that is the case, I pray for patience. Let me not resent these moments of wakefulness, but rather cherish them as intimate appointments with you. Help me to linger in worship, to meditate on your word, to cultivate gratitude for blessings I might otherwise overlook. Let these hours become holy ground, where my heart is transformed by encountering you in solitude. In a world that celebrates self-sufficiency, I choose vulnerability before you. I acknowledge my longing for deeper intimacy, for a faith that goes beyond Sunday services and quick devotionals. I want a faith that stands firm when trials come, that perseveres even in the face of adversity. I want a heart that mirrors yours, soft toward the hurting and bold in the face of injustice. Let these nights refine me, burning away the chaff of selfish ambition, vanity, or complacency, and forging a stronger, purer faith. Lord, I recall the comforting words of Jesus in John 16:33. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Whenever trouble threatens to rob me of peace, let me remember that the one I worship has conquered even death itself. No storm, no circumstance, no demon can overpower the King of Kings. I am safe in your hands, secure in your victory. That doesn't mean I will never face trials, but it does mean I don't face them alone or without hope. Ignite in me a holy courage that rises up to say, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Let me face tomorrow unafraid, confident in the knowledge that your sovereignty covers every detail of my life. I realize, God, that prayer is not a one-sided monologue. It's a conversation, a relationship. As I speak, I also want to listen. I want to hear the whisper of your spirit, the nudges that prompt me to take action or to stay still. Silence can be intimidating, especially in the depth of night. Yet I know that silence can also be the medium through which you speak most profoundly. So after I lay down my petitions, my confessions, and my praise, I pause. I wait for the breath of heaven to fill my lungs with renewed perspective. If you bring to mind a certain person or situation that needs prayer, I will intercede. If you impress upon my heart a call to courage or compassion, I will heed it. Let me cultivate an attentive spirit that not only pours out to you, but also remains open to receive. And Lord, when the new day dawns and the sun finally breaks the horizon, let me carry the peace of this prayer into my waking hours. Let the seeds of faith planted in the darkness blossom in the light of morning. Whether the day brings challenges or blessings, I will remember this moment with you, this sacred encounter that reoriented my heart and renewed my hope. If my burdens still persist, I will continue to lift them up until the day I see breakthrough, trusting that you are never inattentive, never indifferent. Let me learn perseverance in prayer, recognizing that sometimes the answers unfold slowly, molding my character even as I wait. I offer gratitude, Lord, for the gift of communion with you. Prayer is not a chore, but a privilege, a holy invitation to converse with the Creator of the universe. Thank you for stooping low to hear the cries of my heart, for never rejecting me even when I feel unworthy, for showering me with unconditional love. It's humbling to know that the one who holds galaxies in place also holds my tears as precious. In that knowledge I find freedom. Freedom to be honest, to be vulnerable, to be authentic in your presence. I no longer have to hide behind masks or maintain appearances. Before you, I am fully known and fully loved. As I near the end of this prayer, I say again, Lord, I trust you. I trust your timing, your provision, and your ways that are far higher than my own. I trust that whatever I have laid at your feet tonight is safe in your hands. I trust that you are the God of 3 a.m. moments, those times when the world is asleep, but the soul is awake, longing for a glimpse of divine reassurance. Thank you for meeting me here. Thank you for taking my anxieties, my doubts, and my tears and transforming them into faith, hope, and courage. Let me emerge from this night watch with a deeper conviction that you are working all things for good, even if I cannot yet see how. I close this prayer with gratitude and anticipation, excited to see how you will move in my life and in the lives of those I've prayed for. Let me be a beacon of hope to others, just as Elaine's story has inspired me, and just as countless testimonies continue to inspire believers across the world. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever, and I cling to that unchanging truth. May this prayer echo in my heart even after I rise and go about the day, reminding me that no darkness is too thick for your light. With a heart full of reverence and trust, I offer these words to you. May they be a sweet fragrance before your throne, pleasing and acceptable in your sight. In the holy and powerful name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. My dear friends, if these words have touched you, I encourage you to share in the comments how God has met you in your own midnight hours. If you know someone whose spirit is weary, share this prayer with them as an act of hope and faith. Together let us lift one another up, believing that the one who watches over us never slumbers or sleeps, and that even at 3 a.m., he is powerfully at work in our lives.